Okay, are we ready to start? Thank everybody for being here today. Let's see. Do we just need to start with the agenda, Mr. Atkinson?
I think that'd be a good place to start, Mary. We can run through that in maybe a few moments.
Okay, great. Then let's go to number 2, ordinance 7261.
Number 2 is another rezoning for the Hillside Terrace addition. If you'll flip to the last page under tab 2, we've tried to present a map as was requested to where we're showing not only where exactly this is in relation to the subdivision, but with the location map on the bottom, we can see where that fits with the city.
I really like that because I never can figure out where we are.
Well, this is just some more continued growth out there. It's new growth because things have been slow until early December, and this will be the 4th you've done in a month and a half. Kelly?
This is rezoning that's going to basically be preceding another plat for a residential subdivision. It's out at Hillside Terrace Estates, just kind of southwest of Hillside Christian Church. So it's the request is to change from agricultural district, which is our zoning before we develop when we annex something. But the request is to go from an agricultural district to residential district 2. And as you can kind of see from your sketch, it's just a continuation of the predominant zoning of that subdivision. As you probably know by now, our residential district 2 standards are basically a lot with a minimum area of 6,000 square feet, 50 foot of frontage, and 100 feet depth-wise. And so just a continuation of that development southward. And
how many houses will go in there?
Well, not exactly sure how he's going to configure the streets yet, but you know, I would assume he's just going to continue that same pattern down.
They just got
Copy the one just above it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
He's probably going to have you know, one street in the middle there, and then have Perry on the north, and then have two other streets to the south. So
49 plus 48.
yeah, maybe
Or 45.
maybe 50.
Yeah, maybe 50.
No, maybe 100.
Around 100 total.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It's almost a flip-flop in
Almost.
the layout above it.
Yeah, if you almost folded that down, it would
Right.
similar.
Wow.
Good for Perry.
I had a question on the economic outlook that the Emerald National Bank does, and they were talking about permits either staying flat or dropping down with everything else kind of going up. But when we continue to have things like this with new flats being issued, being developed, and developers coming with new permits, is that accurate?
Well, the numbers are what they are. I mean, our residential permits are pretty much flat from last year, maybe just slightly down.
Really?
But yet, you know, that's last year was up a little bit from the previous year. So, you know, at least they didn't go down. And usually there's a little lag time between platting and the permits themselves. So. I would assume that you're going to probably see some increase in the residential building permits. You know, not immediately.
The comparables would be skewed. Last year's were comparables to the year before that. They're so much skewed because we were in the downward trend. And this year's would be the same thing. Comparing it to smaller.
Right. Kind of.
Ago they were almost record numbers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there for a long time we were, you know, and that's kind of important to remember. When we actually did drop down, we just dropped down to kind of what was semi-normal before the big, you know, 3-4 year spike. So yeah, this year's numbers or last year's numbers were about flat like in the previous year. But as Jarrett mentioned, we've gotten in 4 plats, you know, not just 1 or 2 lot plats, you know, several lot plats, and so I would expect the building permits to follow this.
Yeah, I just couldn't understand when you keep approving all these. I mean, man, I can't believe it's down. But
Yeah, there's a little lag time between the,
I see.
you know, we just got the plats, you know, the last couple months of last year. So there's a lag time there.
Okay, thank you. Kelly? Thank you so much. Any appointments, boards and commissions?
Mayor Belinda Taylor has served on the Bi-City County Board of Health for several terms. Her term is up. She has indicated she would be willing to serve a reappointment should you choose to provide one to her. This is one of your boards where typically your appointees are on there for a longer period of time. Quite a bit of learning curve as they get started, and Ms. Taylor has been an excellent board member for her entire service.
That feels good. Okay.
May I ask just one question, kind of on a parallel? When we have a member who's on board and then is appointed to a board, and that member changes or rotates off, do we have to reapprove the replacement, for example, Craig Russell on hospital district board? He was on our ECAP. Will we have the commission approve their replacement, or will that be automatic?
No, the commission will approve, as that replacement will sit on the ECAB. Yes, that'll come back to the commission.
Okay.
And that will be the hospital district board of managers will make that recommendation of who amongst them they would like to see.
Yeah, I don't.
And now
I don't-
Craig he still serves on the ECAB until such time
Served to
as
be replaced.
he's been replaced.
Supposed to.
Oh.
He does. Okay.
I don't think there's a board or commission, committee that we don't appoint, is there? One that we don't?
There's no
That we-
secondary
No.
appointment.
There's some working committees,
Yeah,
that are
subcommittees.
subsidiary to a board that, they handle amongst themselves. No, I'm not aware of one that you don't appoint. Now, you do have some, like the tax increment reinvestment zone, where you're confirming a nominee from another jurisdiction.
Okay. Right. Okay. Good question. Okay, the consent agenda.
Mayor, consent agenda, first item is the purchase of 92 golf carts to be used at Ross Rogers. This, of course, is the follow-up to the new operating contract that was signed out there that moves the course revenue, the park revenue, et cetera, to the city with an incentive back to the operator should they do and do well with that. Typically, there would be about 120 carts out there. We're not recommending to buy all of them at this time because we're about to close the east course and do the renovation. The 92 should be sufficient to carry the wild horse course and then the ancillary stuff until such time as we reopen, and we'll come back and look to buy some more. These are on the buy board contract. This is about a $65,000 discount versus what these sell for. And it does include one additional gasoline-powered cart that will be provided to us that we'll be able to use at the driving range. Ball picker, target, whatever everybody wants to call that. Again, initial funding, we will need to come back and amend the Parks and Rec budget. But of course, ongoing, these carts not only pay for themselves, they provide revenue back to the city for their support. So,
What's the lifespan of those cars?
Well, they got 4 years out of the last plug cars, and this is a
Stagger
little,
your purchases,
we'd like to.
but it's not all at one time.
So probably a year from now, we'll buy some more when we open the next course.
and if this operational model continues over into the other course, we'll be able to start rolling those fleets. We got to have that one upfront purchase to get started.
Right.
Yeah, over time. And I think Dean has a important decision to be made. Dean
Oh,
does
are we
not have an
going?
important decision to be made. What color?
I know.
Blue, green, red,
What
tan?
did we decide to do last time? Green, was it green?
We did green bus
Environment-
benches.
Oh, bus.
Green bus benches,
So not purple.
not purple.
They don't make for,
Well,
Bus
they-
benches.
They got the bus stripe with a purple.
If
Blue or
you,
green?
I like the blue with the white top
IDC.
myself.
Gotta be a good blue.
Like dark blue?
Well, kinda like his
Those
dark
slate
blue on
blues.
his, yeah, slate blue.
French.
This was kind of a powder, lighter blue than
well, I think, isn't Amarillo's colors,
I
white,
like
blue, isn't
The
it?
seal.
that. A darker blue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, the Marshall cars will get in red.
oh, sure, that's a
Yeah.
Marshall.
You only get one of those.
That's a high sheriff on the golf course.
Yeah, I like that dark blue.
I think they need, I think the Marshall cars need to be unmarked.
I wanted black and white.
Can we get a police decal on them?
We can. Won't last long, but we can get one.
Really, aren't our colors blue and, is it white or gold?
Oh,
Well, why don't we, well, the gold top doesn't look so good, but I like the. I
You
like
can
the-
get gold on it, so
Yeah, I think I like the blue. I like the blue.
it's easier on the eye.
Okay.
Less photos.
All
having a
right.
blue card, that was always my problem then. Okay, choice is
You gonna get a
blue.
beer cart?
I think that blue, you're right, that.
The city
The
one.
city.
Oh, city one, that'd be up to, what's his name?
Be up to the operator.
Okay, great. That's one mark off. Downtown lighting.
Mayor, item B is a purchase into inventory of 66 sets of the pedestrian lights that would eventually be used in downtown Amarillo, as well as the associated repair parts that we need to stock and keep on hand. Buying these does result in a substantial discount to somebody that might purchase them one or two or three or four at a time. So we have purchased these, or we're asking to purchase these. We'll put them into inventory, and then as projects come up, be they a public project or a private project, they'll be able to be purchased for the $3,800 put in. Hope this will possibly encourage some folks to do this, to speed up the implementation, encourage uniformity, and for us on the back end, give us the ability to have the needed parts and stuff to keep them all working.
Just gotta get electricity to them.
Some of them are gonna have a challenge getting electricity.
And is that up to Excel?
Depends on where the project is. Generally, it's up to the property owner. Excel's been a pretty big partner, and a couple of them that have already gone in though. The street light grid that's out there is a different voltage.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
We won't work with these.
You can't just tap into it.
I didn't know that.
Thought they were gonna lay a line down the street. I thought they were gonna lay a line down the street.
We've asked them to give us a proposal to do that.
It's not the kind of thing you put an individual transformer in the base of the pole.
As
It's got
far
a
as
tie
tapping
on
into
somewhere.
the other one,
Yeah.
I don't understand that you can, but that is a little beyond me. Some of them are being run, the PRPC building and the 911 building, they've pulled an exterior circuit at their expense, but it's set such that if we get the common grid in, we'll just reach over and grab it. It won't be coming out of their building system at that point. I believe the Marriott's is constructed that way as well. There's a separate service in the alley. And at the time we can get a grid, it'll switch off of their meter into a street light.
Okay, the asbestos abatement.
We mentioned a couple of weeks ago, things have gone very well with the implementation of projects from your 2007 certificates of obligation. Over at PD, they're nearing completion on the big remodel job that was the centerpiece of that. We're now working towards kind of cleaning up around the edges, making sure that all those funds are spent appropriately. To that end, 2 weeks ago, I believe, we did the roof on the storage facility that we had purchased with these monies. What we're asking today is to let us reach up above the 6th floor and below the 6th floor, do a little additional asbestos abatement.
Now, my memory is the worst thing to ever rely on. But I was thinking that whenever Yellow Land made the deal to sell that building, he assumed it from Atlas, that it was totally renovated as part of it. Only selected floors were.
As part of the, and I'd have to go back and reread it, I wasn't here when it was done, but as part of the purchase of that building, it included the renovation of the building to meet the needs that we had for it at that time. So all of those areas that were redone, of course, were fully remediated, everything's fine. But there were 3 floors of the building that we didn't have a need for at that time, and that was bought in early 1990s. So it's carried us close to 20 years. What that is, doing the 6th floor will give us some more time. And then this proposed project that we have today sets it up for when we come back into 5 and 7 at some point in the future. We're that much farther along and don't have this.
I'd send him this bill anyway.
Send
It's part of the 1988 agreement.
Send in the bill.
He won't know where he put that.
You might.
I tried.
I expect we'll have one more small project that we'll bring forth as it relates to police, and that takes that it puts it out of the way. We'll be done. We, again, appreciate you all doing that. There's substantial improvements that have been made.
Well, it's gone so much farther than we anticipated it was going to.
Yeah, that double-edged sword that we talk about when the economy began to drop, the bids became much more favorable, so these funds have been able to make go farther than we would have initially budgeted for. I think the other one we'll try to get done is a little more work out of the range.
That's great. Okay, we have a landfill scraper.
Landfill scraper, there should be a picture of said scraper in your packet. One of several large ones that we have at the landfill. Of course, we just approved a repair project 2 weeks ago on one. This is our oldest one. It has the most hours. It's time for it.
Is this one an electric one?
Doesn't have a plug in.
We can't plug it in anywhere for Commissioner Reed? Sir? They're gonna give lessons how to drive that. We're looking for a part-time scraper.
What kind of license?
You'll know why we cover up.
What kind of license do you have? Is it a DCI or what is that called?
There's no license required because it's
Oh.
off-road.
It's off-road.
Sounds like something you don't have to.
So
Yeah, and off-road.
When those
You
are
let me
stuck,
get
they
it in
are
high gear,
stuck.
I'll show you how to scrape some dirt.
Yeah, oh, gee,
Off-road.
About 3 yards and then balled down. Took too big a bite.
that's amazing, they're so expensive.
They are expensive.
I remember buying it for
Okay, fire hydrants.
Annual purchase of our fire hydrants, Mary. This is for 60. Again, this is both as we expand the system and as some of the older ones become non-serviceable and we take them out of use. One of the few purchases that's gone up on us recently. The scraper, of course, was one. This is another.
Looking at that fact sheet that we have, do we have about 300 and something fire hydrants? Is that right? More than that? 500?
3,800 and something
Ooh.
when it comes to mud.
Whoa.
It's about 3,800, it's somewhere.
300.
in there.
About the zero.
What do you do with the old scrap?
Not much. The pieces in there that are brass is not the majority of that hydrant. Most of it's cast iron.
I think really that's something that we ought to present to the outgoing commissioners.
A fire hydrant?
A fire hydrant.
for their office.
And you know, back in the days when we had the little 2-inch ones, they were really, really neat that you could do things like that with them. These are pretty substantial pieces of iron when they come up. I don't know the two people could pick them on there and unlock them.
Put one in your front yard with dogs.
That's what he uses his campaign signs for.
Moving along, Mayor, item F.
On this one, item F, I can't imagine putting it in, but
In the vein of what they were just discussing,
Yeah.
we'll discuss item F. These are rollers for the belt press out at the Hollywood Road wastewater treatment plant. And this is where you take the semi-solid material and run it through the rollers and separates the liquid from the not so liquid.
wow. How many rollers are there? How many presses?
We have two drill presses out there, and each press probably has a dozen rollers on it.
For the fixing.
These rollers control the movement of the belt that presses the sludge, and it reverses the direction constantly.
Yeah, it's a beverage container.
We have had recurring problems with particular rollers, and these presses are 1993 models, so they're beginning to get a little long in the tooth. But these are replacement parts that I felt we should have in stock. In the past, we've bought them reactively. Delivery time is like 3 weeks,
Oh, yeah.
and we really don't need to be getting that far behind with
No, I'm
the
not.
press. So these will be spares.
Great. So much that goes involved, it is involved with running a city.
It's very complex.
Very
The whole
complex.
process is.
Very complex. Okay, well, were we gonna go over this other, full closed session here at the manual?
The map was just in response there to the
Okay.
request from last week. We provided that to all of the media outlets in the room. That gives you a sense of what that Potter County well field project is. This has everything on it, the roads, the small pipelines, the wells, the electric lines, and then of course the large pipelines. As you can see, it covers a substantial piece of country. As a crow flies, it's a little over 16 miles south to north. The way you come across the country and everything, it's a little bit bigger than that.
Now, is this Grimwald's line where,
That's ours.
that's your?
It's our line, but their
Where do we
line
tie,
is,
huh?
I'm sorry, their line is approximately parallel to it. It separates out some as it gets closer to town, but
To the
generally,
purple.
they're fairly close together. They do not have a shared easement, however.
I think it's really great to point out what you all have been doing and to show all the hard work in this very important project for the city of Amarillo. And, you know, I can really see it better on a piece of paper and understand it better than just talking about it. So, and that red box is actually where it is in the county, isn't it?
Correct.
So I think that this is very interesting.
Where's one here?
I'm sorry, where's what?
Where's Potter Wellfield? Well, number
Well,
one.
Number one was one of the test holes, and it's not being developed. Is that right, Emmett?
Is that this one here, this blue spot here?
No, number one is good to
Up in the
go.
upper right-hand corner.
There's two of them,
Right
there's two
here,
of them out.
kind of red.
Red.
It's the one that, it's the one that was moved. It's not where the original.
Oh, yes.
There's two not,
yes.
there's two not labeled on here,
Yes.
and it's one of those two.
Yeah, that's a monitoring well.
Okay.
That PMW,
Oh, Potter
well,
Monitoring.
number one, that's a Potter County monitoring well, number one.
Okay.
And we have two of those, and then we have, you'll see some red dots. We also have what's called a nested piezometer wells.
If you look between 2 and 3,
Yes.
there's 2 wells not labeled.
Is that 1 and 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Funny how you can't see that, isn't it?
Now, so with losing Lake Meredith, and if we wouldn't have done all this, where would Amarillo be right now?
That would be scary, Commissioner.
it's called up the creek without water.
Now, how many
Up the
gallons of
Salty
water?
Creek.
I thought of this last week. How many gallons of water do we use a day? 85?
On a year-round basis, approximately 41 million gallons per day. In the summertime, 65, 70, 75 is not uncommon.
But for the
It's
year, it'd be
76.
41 million. So
For a
about
year-round average, yes.
850 million a year.
Correct.
Very.
And this will provide approximately 20 million per day.
Is this Meredith?
We're
that
down
goes
at
up-
you.
That,
Well, I'm talking about.
where it says Potter County, is that Meredith, that lake?
To the well.
No, it's further north, Mayor. It's not on the map.
Oh,
Maybe $1.45.
No benchmark up in the world on bottled water.
Oh, my God.
I
It's
think
coming out of
that's
the same tap.
probably a Playa.
This is
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. Appreciate it. You really do.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh, absolutely.
Could we take 2 minutes, and Tyler doesn't know I'm gonna do this, but Tyler, I know you have some good things, would you mind coming and sit up here for just a, I want to just ask you an easy question. We love having young people get involved, and I'm curious what brought you to become involved with the city and city government and.
You know Mary Ingalls, her son asked me to come talk about the bicycle thing.
I remember that.
And then I was just like, this is fun.
Oh, yeah?
And so
I remember
she kept
that.
coming.
Yeah, well, it's
Came
far
up in
worse.
bicycle shooters one day, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. Tyler, can you tell me which part is fun? I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
What interests
And
you most
Tyler
in
was
city government?
appointed last week
Yeah,
to
to
the
the
Environmental
environment.
Advisory
Yeah,
Committee,
that's
and
awesome.
today he took his
Yeah.
seat for his first committee meeting.
And he already is taking a leadership role in
I know. Oh, awesome. Is there a certain area that interests you more than other areas besides environment? You've been through the budget, haven't you?
Probably,
You've been through the budget.
you know something I like to see is the smoking ordinance passed.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that'll probably come up again.
You know what, I'm
I hope
not
it
running
does.
again, this might be your time to get her done right.
Get it done.
it. Wise young man.
You talking about citywide, all
Citywide.
public areas?
Yes,
Mhm.
all enclosed spaces.
Mhm. I think it's great that you're here, and I know that you have a lot to offer going to in the future.
It's a lot of fun.
Good.
certainly is.
Well, we appreciate you being here. Hope I
Have you
didn't.
paid taxes yet?
Yeah,
I
he bought,
wish.
yeah, he bought a Coke today. I think.
Yeah, and you're at Emerald College or WT or
No, I
what?
go to Harvard Extension School.
Really?
It's their online correspondence degree program.
Wow. For you.
At the end of the correspondence course, will you have to spend some time on campus to get a
Yes,
degree?
this summer and next summer, I'll actually have to go to Cambridge.
All right, and you plan on doing it?
I am.
Good for you.
That won't be any fun.
You won't like that.
Probably have
Can
to
you
work
imagine
the whole
Boston
time.
in the
In
summer?
Boston in the summer?
And did you grow up in Amarillo?
I did. Lived here my whole life.
Great.
Sheriff,
So
it's
far.
coming after
So
your
far.
time.
Oh, yeah?
Show your range.
Actually, not too
She'll
far
still
away.
be there.
That is just, I- I'm sorry I started putting you on the spot. I just think it's great that you're here and I wanted to see what you thought was exciting here and
Yeah.
what brought you here. And I remember you talking about the bicycles. I remember that.
Yeah.
You got run over or something, or somebody opened the door?
I did not, but a friend of mine.
Oh,
got-
okay, it was a friend.
Yeah. Somebody grabbed him,
Yeah.
and the driver who grabbed him thought he was on the right. That the bicycle should be on the road.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought that was you. I'm not even
Oh.
here. I think you said that.
Where are we at with the signs? Get the signs put up.
That committee meets tomorrow, and subject to the final, put the dot on the map, putting them, actually installing them, is the purview of the traffic commission, and no further action will be necessary. We'll get them going, they're here, they're ready to go.
Which ones are that?
These are share the
Share the
roads, and
roads.
we,
Oh, yeah.
remember, we
Oh,
have
cycle and bicycle.
two different sets of them.
Right, right. That'll be great to get those up.
We've got advocates from each group working that.
Okay,
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate it.
One more question.
Very
Sure.
As a cyclist,
How much?
and you recognize and probably love and cherish our wide streets in Amarillo, do you think that there's a necessity for bike lanes on both sides of a given street?
No, I do not. I think that now I'll probably catch a lot of flack from Ken Graham and that group. I really don't
We
think
just want the truth.
I don't think we even need purpose-built bike lanes.
Oh, my God.
I think
Oh
we
my-
need
I
signs.
wish you would.
I
Yes,
think
sir.
we need signs.
Jared,
That's
could
it.
you move over one
I,
seat?
Yeah.
Tyler, right here.
I think we just need signs to
Thanks, Tyler.
inform the public that cyclists have a right, just like they do, to be on the road. And it's way too expensive to put those bike lanes in.
You know, they do it in Austin. My son-in-law is the architect, engineer for
Really?
bicycling in Austin. And they have all of 350 bicycles that are part of that local group that want bike lanes. And they spend more money doing that now.
Well, how high is the tax rate?
Well, yes, this has been a lovely social conversation.
Oh, I know. I knew it was gonna halt
Now
us.
we
I
go
knew
back
you
to the
were.
agenda. We need to plan
You
some
know,
time off.
And maybe we could put it on the agenda to talk about bike lanes again, because I think we're going to relook at.
Well, and again, that was one of the charges that was given to your traffic commission, and so
Okay,
it will
okay.
lead to this committee that's working under them.
Great.
Thanks for serving, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler.
Let me know when you're going to get married.
Okay.
Are you getting married?
No.
Oh.
He just wants to sell me a ring.
I know. That's right.
Yeah, I'll get all the young ones I can.
That's all right.
either, council.
How funny.
What do
Okay,
they
I
call that,
just,
self-promotion?
Marcus, thanks
I'll
for
pay my
indulging me
dollar.
as long as you did. Okay, I guess we'll do the closed session.